it's the most important meal of the day, meaning if you don't start strong, I can't imagine you're going to end very strong either. Secondly, it's delicious. That's why brunch has become a cultural phenomenon. Third, and most important for me in particular, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Why? I am a type 1 diabetic. Now, I won't go on lecturing about why food is important to diabetics, but as you might imagine, it's pretty important to how we run our lives. I need to start my day with a good meal so that I can have a productive, healthy, fully fueled day. So I guess it's good that I like breakfast so much. I've also always been a person who loves stories, so here's mine. June 26th, 2019. Me, 15, eating breakfast, aptly, when my parents decide to test my blood sugar. It's high, like 500 high, when the normal blood glucose should be between 70 and 150. We go to the hospital. And a bridge list of firsts. Lying in a hospital bed, getting my blood drawn, having an IV, and hearing the words, "You're a type 1 diabetic." June 27th, family trip to the Diabetes Education Center. But seriously, this session put a lot of the things that I had been experiencing for the past year into perspective. I had been showing symptoms that I didn't even know were symptoms. I was diagnosed with type 1 a lot later than most kids, so the lifestyle that I had grown accustomed to would have to change, and change fast, especially since we'd be moving across the country to Bozeman, Montana in 2-ish weeks, but that's another story. And I know everyone there was trained for this, but they were also patient and kind. It genuinely made the day so much more bearable. And I learned a lot, but the most important thing was this. I was a diabetic, but that did not define me. Chronic conditions don't stop you from giving and receiving love. Fast forward 3 years, and I'm moving into my freshman dorm at William&Mary. But just because I was now a more experienced diabetic, that did not make the impending college transition any less scary. I was afraid I'd be overwhelmed by food once more, afraid and overthinking something as simple as a slice of pizza. You can prep and research as much as you want, but I'll tell you, nothing prepares you for 6:30 Sadler. Luckily, a couple weeks into the semester, I found my rock and I never looked back. Marketplace. Ideal location between my dorm and Sunken Gardens. They had a pretty good breakfast, especially the breakfast sandwich. And, most importantly, they had the most amazing people working there. Marketplace is where I met Gloria and Joanne. They quickly became two faces that I looked forward to seeing every morning with their fun stories, their laughter, and their genuine interest in my day. They were friendly, but that's all I thought it was, until one fateful day in February 2023. I was in my Acting 1 class in Campus Center Little Theater, which is directly below Marketplace, when I start feeling my sugar dip. I'm getting shaky, and the disoriented feeling in my head is growing. No need to panic. I've done this so many times before. I'll have you know, I've literally done this in my sleep. But I go to check my backpack, and I've already used all the emergency sugar I keep in there. Now slightly panicked, I racked my brain for an idea. Marketplace. They don't close for a while, so I head upstairs. I must have been a sight to behold. I like to think that I'm an inconspicuous kind of diabetic, but Gloria immediately knew something was wrong when I came up to her, shaky and pale. I go, "Oh, hi, I'm a type 1 diabetic," and before I can even finish my whole spiel, she's sitting me down. Joanne brings me juice, chocolate, and even offers me a sandwich. The two of them keep me engaged in conversation, comfortable yet distracted so that I can come back up to normal. And once I'm at normal sugar, I thank them and rejoin my class. While that may be the end of those events, it is nowhere near the end of the story. Beyond keeping me conscious in that moment, Gloria and Joanne impacted the way I interact with the William&Mary staff. The people who keep our lives moving forward every day who support us without us even having to ask, all while getting little to no recognition of it. The dining staff, janitorial and facilities management staff, office attendants, members of fire safety. I saw these people every day, and I didn't think to learn their names until I needed to. If that's not taking someone for granted, I don't want to see what is. And yet, despite that, they go through every day with smiles, with jokes, with personalities that defiantly refuse to be erased. They are kind, authentically kind, and they want to connect with the student body. I am ashamed to say that I was once one of those people who didn't do more than smile at the dining staff, and I strive to never make that oversight again. I like to think that I'm an optimistic, compassionate person, and yet I'm constantly surprised by good people. I was witness to a wonderful thing, and I can't let that go unnoticed. The care and attentiveness shown to me by Gloria and Joanne inspired me, or rather, reminded me to interact with the rest of the dining staff, with older couples walking through campus looking for a specific building, and people everywhere who sit behind a desk. And I am so grateful for it. And there's something so powerful about that, isn't there? Hate is so loud in this world. Our collective mental space is saturated with examples of exploitation, discrimination, and violence. This saturation in the news and online leads us to become desensitized to it. We are surprised by a compliment, touched by the love of a stranger, even though I know we'd all rather hear a lot more about this kind of kindness. But how do we change it? I know it's a difficult question, but that didn't stop Gloria and Joanne. They went beyond what was required of them in pursuit of a kinder world. I wish I could go and make that choice as easily as they did. Beyond their initial kindness, their actions continued, proving them to be some of the most thoughtful, caring people on this campus. As some of the first people I see every day, I don't think the dining staff at William & Mary gets nearly enough credit for the environment they're helping to create. They genuinely care about every student on this campus. They want us to be having a good day, and they can tell when we're not. They know how hard it is to be overlooked. And yet, they don't let that resentment or apathy control them. That is a difficult choice, and one that demands respect. Gloria and Joanne's actions impacted my perspective and continue to echo throughout the entire William & Mary campus. Every small choice made by the William & Mary staff creates ripples in this community. They made me realize that I don't want to do the decent thing. I want to do the kind thing. I want to be the kind of person who brightens someone's day without extra prompting. I want to be the kind of person to genuinely invest in everyone's kindness. I believe the solution to a kinder world starts with small choices. And this, choosing to act with altruism, is a small choice. The potential is right there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Remember that no matter where you are in your life, your kindness makes a difference, I promise. Never underestimate your potential for good. Thank you.